Meanwhile, Master Shen sat in his car, fingers drumming the steering wheel anxiously. He called Leeway again, but there was no answer. He tried once more, but the call went straight to ringing. Concern etched across his face as he quickly sent a text, asking if Leeway was ready and why he wasn't responding. He sat there, tension coiling in his chest, waiting for a reply, unaware of the silent observers just behind him. In a nondescript car trailing at a distance, Wubin and Kai watched him closely. Kai glanced at Wubin, who had the binoculars pressed to his eyes, and asked in a low, skeptical voice if this would even work, if following him like this would reveal anything. They had been tailing him for hours, yet so far nothing had surfaced. Wubin didn't speak, eyes scanning every subtle movement of Master Shen through the lenses. Finally, lowering the binoculars, he met Kai's gaze and said firmly that this was the only way. The man they were following was clever, cautious. Getting too close would raise suspicion. He added that something seemed off. Master Shen had been acting as if he was trying to call someone, glancing at his watch with increasing frequency. Kai hesitated, uncertainty flickering across his face. Wubin caught it and said bluntly that if Kai wasn't confident, he could leave for Korea today and let him handle it alone. Kai's voice cut through immediately, defensive yet determined. He wasn't hesitating. They would continue. Meanwhile, inside the house, Leeway sat on the floor before Amara, his cell phone in hand, calls and messages from Master Shen flashing across the screen. He looked up at her, his voice soft but urgent, calling her babe, pleading with her to unlock the door. He explained, his words desperate but controlled, that Master Shen was calling because he was concerned, worried for him. He leaned closer, his gaze locking with hers, assuring her that he would take every precaution, that he wouldn't put himself in unnecessary danger, that he would come back in one piece. He told her that when he stepped out for this mission, she would be his strength, his anchor, the reason he would return alive. There was so much he still wanted to do with her, so much he wanted to do for her, and he wouldn't let his life end before fulfilling it. He rose and pulled her gently to her feet, trying to steady her trembling frame, trying to calm the storm of emotion in her eyes. His hands held hers, his touch firm yet gentle, as he called her his princess, whispering promises that he would return, that she had nothing to fear. Amara said nothing. She only stared at him, tears streaming down her face, her mind a whirlwind. She wondered if she was overreacting, if her fear was unreasonable, but the gut instinct in her chest screamed that something terrible might happen. The same feeling had been there before, the same dread she had felt when her mother had died. It gripped her, suffocating her, warning her that if she let him leave now, it could be the last time she saw him, the last time she felt his arms around her, and she couldn't let that happen. Leeway waited, his gaze softening as he watched her struggle with herself. He hoped she was beginning to understand, that she was starting to see why he had to leave. He pulled her close, embracing her, whispering into her ear that she had to trust him, that everything would be all right, that he would return and hold her again. Slowly, her body began to relax in his arms. His words seemed to soothe her, and for a fleeting moment, she considered letting him go. But then, his phone beeped again. He froze. Amara noticed the sudden shift in his expression, the stiffness in his posture, the tightening of his jaw. Fear, raw and unbidden, crept back into her chest. Her eyes darted to the screen, reading the message that made her heart plummet. Master Shen's words were clear. The mastermind already knew they were coming, and the danger would be deadly. But they would take the risk. Panic surged in her. Her thoughts raced uncontrollably, a storm of fear and uncertainty. She couldn't let him go. Without thinking, without reasoning, she lunged forward. Her hand snatched the phone from his grip. Before he could react, she pivoted and ran, bare feet pounding against the floor as she fled into the bedroom, determination and fear fused in every desperate step. Leeway's heart tightened as he realized what she had done. The mission was waiting. Time was slipping, but her resolve, her love, and her fear for him were just as unyielding as his determination to leave. The house was filled with the sound of rapid footsteps, a collision of two wills caught between duty and the raw, unspoken power of love.